Alright, in this video we're going to be going over the Baldur's Gate and unboxing, reviewing Icons of the Realm, Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, Archon the Cruel, and Dark Order. There are 6 minis in here. They're all unique, and if you're familiar with Archon and Baldur's Gate and Descent into Avernus, 1, you'll want these minis if you're going to be playing with minis in your campaign, but 2, they're just freaking sweet. So if you want to see what's inside this, stay tuned. So let's go ahead and read the back here like we did with the last one. The blood war rages on as Tiamat's general Archon the Cruel descends into Avernus, triumphant with a dangerous artifact that could ultimately free her and wreak havoc over the realms. For use with the D&D fantasy role-playing game, the set includes Archon the Cruel, his Minotaur bodyguard Torgar Steelfist, his Turtle Death Cleric Kroul, one of his Berserkers, and a summoned White Abishai, and his Manticore pet Chongo. Designed by Arkhan himself, Joe Manganiello, with Wizkids, these figures give you the power to bring the epic story to life. Can you trust Archon the Cruel in the Dark Order, or will there be war? You decide. So again, this is the first time we've seen like a big, large blister package like this tall from Wizkids. And again, the sculpts in these are pretty sweet. So if you're familiar with Critical Role or, you know, Joe Manganiello's character Arkhan, you can see that this is Arkhan with the Hand of Vecna, and the Fane Eater, his axe. I got Chongo, his mini here. The sculpts on these are all awesome, and these would make great villains even if you're not playing Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, or really cool character PCs if you happen to be able to play a Minotaur. Alright, so I'm going to pop this thing open, and then we'll bring the minis in close and take a look. So let's peel back our blister package here. Dive into this. Once again, a big thank you to the folks at Wizkids for surprising me with this. Normally, I kind of have an idea when things are going to show up. Today, I just got a knock on the door, and FedEx was here, and they delivered me a package with all this cool Wizkids stuff in it. So I'm very excited because that was a nice little surprise on my Tuesday afternoon. So let's go ahead and pop. Out comes Archon, Torgar Steelfist, Archon's Berserker, Kroul. Now what's interesting is none of those had ties to hold them in place, but the White Abishai has a twist tie to hold it in place, as does Chongo here. So let's go ahead and pull out our Abishai is free, and we've got our one tie here on Chongo. Alright, our minis are free. Well, almost here. Let's bring it in and see what we got. So I figured we'd start with our biggest mini first, which is Chongo the Manticore. He's got a kind of a doofy looking face, but so do Manticores if you look in the monster manual. I actually really hate the art for the 5th edition Manticore, as I think it looks really dumb, and this kind of reflects that. But if you don't have a Manticore mini, which I don't, this kind of will substitute for that, which is nice. Sorry, let me get the camera here in spot, but you can see we've got a nice sculpt. The wings look really good. It's got all the spikes in the head, and most importantly, the spikes here on the tail, which is a key point of every Manticore. And you can see on the bottom here, 1 of 6 Chongo. Either way, a cool mini. Not necessarily a... I'm actually not sure if this is a unique sculpt for... I think it is a unique sculpt for this set and not, reflective of the existing Manticore mini. Still, very cool. Paint job's pretty good. I'm a fan. Next up, we have Archon's kind of Minotaur bodyguard, Torgar Steelfist. So again, this is a unique Minotaur sculpt here, and you can see he's actually got like some gold in his little beard here. He's got the symbol of Tiamat emblazoned here on his chest, or maybe engraved in his chest. He's got his gold kind of loincloth, but I don't know if we can we get that in there? Yeah, you've got some sort of flame, like translucent flame effects right here along the two swords that he's got, which is pretty cool. I'll spin it around so you can see the other sword. Right, so you can see you've got like some sort of translucent-y flames along it. And here's his back. We've got his little minotaur tail and his golden shod hooves. I'm a big fan of this. This is a pretty sweet-looking mini overall. So again, solid woodwork for anything. Obviously, if you're playing Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, this has more use for you. So here we have a white Abishai. This is sort of, I guess you could say almost like a manifest of a white dragon or a manifest of Tiamat. They come in all different colors. I know a couple of them were released in one of the recent blind box sets. I don't know if white was one of the colors, but I really like the kind of brown and kind of bloody, dirty wings that they put on this thing. I'm really digging that. Got the tail. We have kind of the weird, almost like skeletal looking face and mouth of the Abishai, along with the kind of, you can see, you can almost see like the rib cage here and the long, really kind of, I don't even know what kind of sword it is. It's sort of like a falchion, but it's like double length. I don't know. Again, if you're going to be playing Baldur's Gate, or you know, you just want an Abishai, there's an option. We have one of Arkhan's Berserkers, which is really just like a human-style mini with a longsword, looks like. And he's got sort of this, he could be any kind of barbarian. This I actually really like because you could use this, you know, as a PC for any kind of barbarian or tribal-type character. He's got the tribal tattoos and everything on the back here. I don't know exactly Arkhan's Berserker, what it's exactly tied to in the storyline, but that's cool. Now this is probably my favorite sculpt of the entire thing, is Kroul, the Death Cleric Turtle. First of all, we have this sweet looking like skull-headed maul. I think you can see that with the kind of green translucent death kind of effects coming out of it. And like, I mean, he's also like a snapping turtle, if you will. You can see he's got this like crazy spiked shell on his back. And I think you can make out that there's actual little runes and things carved into all the different spikes. And I like over here we sort of have what I think is supposed to be like potions, but they're different colors, so I was wondering if that was like a holy symbol of Tiamat, but I think it's just actually just different color potions on the side. The thing I'm actually least excited about is the face sculpt. I feel is kind of funky. I don't think it looks as good as the art in the book, but the rest of it is awesome. I wish I'd had the thought to come up with the idea of like the snapping turtle. Ooh, sorry, I just completely destroyed my my display base here. Oh, there we go. And lastly, saving potentially the best for last, the man himself, Archon the Cruel. So you can see here, he does have a separate, not for his normal hand, green hand of Vecna here. He's kind of up on like a platform. You can see his tail is kind of like epic looking cloak. And here is Fane Eater, his unique special axe. He's wearing the kind of the plate mail. What is it? The obsidian dragon plate mail. And you can see right in the middle there, he has the symbol of Tiamat right on his chest. Again, a really awesome villain for a campaign. If you have a red dragonborn, you could just ignore the hand of Vecna, and this would be a really sweet, just heavy armor dragonborn. But I mean, it's a unique set with a lot of cool minis. I mean, just look at this. Just like look at this little group here, right? I mean, like this. You don't want to be fighting these guys. Like this is a really sweet little group that he's kind of put together, and this whole storyline he's built around his character is really sweet. So I'm going to zoom this out. We'll talk about how much it is and when you can get it, and we'll wrap this thing up. So from what I can tell by looking around, it looks like this is set to release in March of this year. So I don't know exactly when in March, but thanks to Wizkids for, again, providing this, I got this well in advance of its actual release date. It also looks like its retail price is $39.99. Now, that being said, we have 6 unique minis that, I mean, the Abishai and the Berserker may not be, you know, the concept of them are not unique, as is Chongo, but they are all unique sculpts as far as I can tell. And you're getting 6 minis, 2 of which are large, 4 are medium size, and they just look badass and have cool effects on them. And they are going to be, it looks like $39.99. Compare that with the Monster Pack Cave Defenders, which was also 6 minis. But that was only $24.99. But you only got the one Ogre, and that was large size. This is also probably, there's a little bit of an upcharge because it's tied to the current campaign. It was also a specific work that Wizkids had to do with Joe Manganiello to get this to exist in the first place. Although I'm sure he was geeking out over it, as I'm sure I would be if Wizards of the Coast and Wizkids was nice enough to take some of my characters and turn them into officially published minis, which, I don't know. If anybody out there has any ideas on how I make that happen, I would love to, just to be able to have. I mean, you can see I've got all these minis behind me. I'd love to have ones that were officially mine, but I'll keep trying to figure out how I can do that in the meantime. But I'm curious what you all think about this set. Is this worth $39.99? I obviously probably would not have purchased this myself because I'm not playing Baldur's Gate Descended to Avernus. So I don't really have any need to have these minis in my collection, though they are unique and it's nice to have them from a collector's standpoint. Will you pick these up? There'll be a link to the Amazon if you want to go pick up a copy for yourself and pre-order them for delivery, again, in March when it's officially released. Like I said, I like the sculpts. I think they're super cool. I'm pumped that they were provided to me for review purposes by Wizkids. But I'm curious what you all think. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.